Hi, I'm Shane.
I'm Kelsey.
And this is Dixie, and we're Love Hut for Life. We've been on the road now for 55 weeks in our self-built slide-in camper / tiny home on wheels.
This week, our buddy Zach came along with us as we explored natural springs and waterfalls across the Shawnee and Twain National Forest.
That's right. This is going to be a good one. Y'all make sure you hang on and watch till the end. And if you have a moment, leave us a comment below, because if you don't, we don't know you've watched.
We left you last week in the Shawnee National Forest, where we had found a horse camp to hang out in for the night. But that next morning, we were on the road again.
We had no way of knowing exactly how awesome this week was going to be, but anytime these two travel along with us, it's a guaranteed good time.
Zach and Mary showed up late last week, and this week we're taking them deep into another national forest.
We lost the race to the sun and found this parking spot right at dark, just in time to have spaghetti around a campfire.
We knew when we parked that we were within vicinity of water, but had no idea just how beautiful Till Pond was going to be the next morning.
We had no time to waste, and we were immediately on the road and headed to our big adventure plan for the day.
We started our tour of the Shawnee National Forest at one of the most popular spots in the land, the Garden of the Gods. And this magical location, sandstone formations that come up from the ground, giving you an absolutely incredible view of the Garden of the Gods wilderness below.
There is a 1/4 mile trail paved through this park, but off-road exploration is highly encouraged, and you know we didn't miss out on that opportunity.
The views from the sidewalk are pretty incredible, but they're nothing compared to the views from up here.
We eventually made it back to the truck and began to lead this caravan into the forest in search of another place to sleep for the night.
Well, to our left is an option, but we're going to keep going and see what else is down here. Pull in that parking lot or that campsite to the left, and we'll be right back. Or we'll tell you what's up here.
10-4.
You don't want us to come up there?
We did our jobs well and found a spot big enough for the three of us, with comparable views to what we'd been seeing all day long.
Another campfire under the stars, and we were all ready to get some sleep.
Next morning, Mary greeted us at the fire with news that she needed to make a trip back to North Carolina.
Meanwhile, I was excited to see what else this new camping spot of ours had to offer.
We took about a 1/4 mile walk down the edge of this cliff in search of a waterfall, which we knew was there because we could hear it.
We found ourselves at the top of Jackson Falls, overlooking an absolutely gorgeous array of rock faces and boulders.
We were absolutely enjoying this hike, but Dixie was about ready to head back to camp. Did you know that Chihuahuas are scared of water and heights? We made it back in time to roast some marshmallows and watch the stars come out with Z.
The next morning, we listened to GPS when it told us that we could just keep going down the road that we were on and it would lead us back to the highway.
Oh look, surprise, GPS was wrong. I looked down at our GPS and my little icon is a yellow truck and it's just out in the middle of the woods. It's not even on a road. Find the road, little buddy.
We eventually found our way to a road that shows up on a map, and it led us safely out of there.
And another one which led us to a free campground in the Shawnee National Forest called Oak Bottoms.
When the sun went down, it was far too cold to eat outside, so we all huddled in the Love Hut for a dinner party. Even when they're free, campgrounds this crowded just really aren't our style, so we hit the woods looking for a place a bit more private.
We found the Mississippi River in Chester, Illinois, home of Popeye the Sailor Man. Toot toot!
Another bridge over another river, and we were in another state. State number 31, Missouri.
The days are getting shorter, and before long, we were racing the sun into the Twain National Forest to find a place to rest our heads.
We found a cozy little spot and all huddled up for another Love Hut dinner party.
The next morning, we were in no rush to get out of there, so we made blueberry pancakes to start off our day right.
Spots like this one are always hard to leave, but we knew that there was so much left to see in this forest, and we couldn't help the urge but to explore.
Just down the road was Big Spring, and we were all excited to get a look at this emerald water.
The closer we got, the more overwhelming the sounds of gushing water became.
We explored the nearby caves and took a nice stroll on the paved path around the rock bluffs. Big Spring is actually one of the largest natural springs in the entire country, and this emerald green water definitely brings out the mermaid in Kelsey.
We eventually had to make it back to our tiny homes on wheels so that we could begin our search for a new place to park for the night.
Z's van came in handy for scouting out spots that normally would take a little bit of effort to get the love hut down.
It wasn't long before we found the absolutely perfect place for us to hang out for the night.
With only some minor issues getting in.
It's a good thing we updated those tires recently.
Me and Z spent our evening splitting cedar wood for future fire starters, while Kelsey mustard fried some short pork ribs. Y'all gotta try these things.
The next morning, we woke up to a gorgeous sunrise over the lake, and none of us really knew what was in store for us for the day, but all of us were excited to get going.
We hadn't seen cell phone service in days, so we hit the road with our buddy in tow behind us in hopes that we might find a road sign to tell us where we were.
We found one that said river access and had no idea just how right we were when we decided to bite that hook.
This creekside trail was so cool. It was another beautiful sight every time you turned a corner.
This little spring was called Turner Mill, and at some point in the early 1900s, 50 people called it this place home.
And at the bottom of it is the 11-Point River.
We made it back to our homes and back on the road, still with absolutely no idea where we were. But the next road sign we saw was a name that both of us recognized from our previous research of the forest.
Just over a mile away from the parking lot was a place called Greer Springs, a place that you definitely should check out if you're ever visiting the Mark Twain National Forest.
Greer Springs is the second largest spring in the Ozark and emits 360 cubic feet of water per second. As much as we all hated to leave this absolutely incredible spot, we still had no idea where we were, and we're still in need of a new place to lay our heads for the night. Luckily, it didn't take us very long at all to find this gem of a spot at the end of a gravel road, and for the boys to build me one last fire to close out our week. Guys, it has been such an awesome week. We had so much fun with Z. We do want to take the time to tell you that we appreciate each and every one of you who are following along with us.
And if you would like a more in-depth view of our journeys, check out our other social media. We have a Facebook page, an Instagram, and even a Patreon. And you can get a better peek inside of our world outside of these videos. Also, if you have a minute, hit that subscribe button below and leave us a comment and give us a thumbs up if you like this video. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye, guys. Peace out.
Bye, y'all.